The Department of Finance assures no job will be lost when the second package of the tax reform seeking to attract better and high-quality opportunities or Trabaho Bill is implemented. The Labor Department assures they will not be laid off and will still receive their wages as part of the workers' rights provided in the OSH law. And though the election season is drawing near, the Duterte administration is still confident that the Trabaho Bill will be implemented before the end of the year.
That's why we do not see job losses. In fact, this is the bill or reform that will massively create many jobs for the economy as a whole.
The Department of Foreign Affairs will extend financial assistance to overseas Filipino workers who have been affected by flight delays and cancellations due to the runway closure at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano said in a statement that the department, through the Office of the Migrant Workers, will provide assistance amounting to 5,000 pesos for overseas workers who were unable to depart for their host countries due to the incident. A Xiamen passenger air jet skidded off the NAIA runway last August 16, which prompted the closure of the runway for over 24 hours, resulting in flight interruptions around the country.
The Commission on Elections is not experiencing any problems in their preparation for the plebiscite for the ratification of the Bangsamoro Organic Law, even if it is just months apart from the 2019 midterm elections. Nel Maribohok will tell us why.
The Commission on Elections is readying itself for three major voting activities in the country. These include the referendum for the ratification of Bangsamoro Organic Law, referendum of cities and villages in the Mindanao region that will join the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, and the 2019 midterm elections. According to the poll body, they are just awaiting the verification of the publication requirements for the effectivity of the BOL. This will help the COMELEC determine the date of the referendum in Mindanao. According to COMELEC spokesman James Jimenez, it is possible that the plebiscite may be held in January 2019. And as part of its preparation, the COMELEC will extend the voter registration in the respective areas in Mindanao.
We will make it mandatory for various field offices in the area to conduct satellite registrations. So magiging, kumbaga, doble yung effort.
Meanwhile, COMELEC has announced that the filing of the Certificate of Candidacy in Marawi City for their barangay and sangguniang kabataan elections will start tomorrow.
Maglalabas ng listahan ng mga alternative voting centers. So dito ngayon dito gagawin yung voting para dun sa mga barangays na affected.
The election period in war-torn Marawi City is from August 17 to September 29. Campaign period will start on September 12 and the election day is on September 22. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Meanwhile, the Department of Labor and Employment encourages workers to file complaints once their employers violate the OSH law. The Labor Department assures they will not be laid off and will still receive their wages as part of the workers' rights provided in the OSH law. Here's Aiko Miguel to tell us why.
Workers' conditions and rights are clearer now based on the recently signed Occupational Safety and Health Standards or OSH law. In the said law, employers cannot threaten their employees of getting dismissed from work and of not receiving wages once they file reports or complaints on the violations of an employer. One of the highlights of the OSH law is the right of a worker to file reports to authorities if an employer violates their right to have a safe and healthy workplace. According to Dole Bureau of Working Conditions Director Maria Teresita Cucueco, it is clearly stated in Section 23 of the OSH law for workers to receive wages even there will be stoppage of the company he is employed to. This is especially when an employer is proven to have violated the said law and workers are not the ones at fault. Workers can also file claims for their compensation benefits when they have disability or die while on duty.
If there's a work stoppage, the workers who will be affected by the work stoppage should be paid their wages. It is not going to stop because if the work stoppage was because of the negligence of an owner in providing for the necessary safety and health measures, especially in construction.
The OFWs strengthens the administrative penalty to be imposed, wherein a violating employer should pay 100,000 pesos per day until the violation is resolved. Dole assures that the collection of paid penalties will go to the mandatory 8-hour safety and health seminar of workers.
Yung penalty na lang, yung administrative fine na 100,000, I think, per violation yata, no? Simple lang. Kasi ano ito bahagi dito ng social justice na ng ating mga manggagawa, lalo na yung mga biktima ng mga insidente.
Workers consider the law as a hope to have a safer and healthier working condition, and with this, they feel the government's concern for them.
Malaking bagay po, sakaling wala man po kaming ibang trabaho, may makuha po kami benefits. Tama po yung ginawa ng Pangulo Duterte po, ma'am.
Para sa amin din naman yung batas. Malaki po ang may tulong sa amin para sa amin.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Retrenched PLDT workers are urging the Court of Appeals to reverse its ruling on the Labor Department's regularization order. Let's find out why from JL Asaya's report.
Former employees of the Philippine Long Distance Telephone Company or PLDT trooped to the Court of Appeals to file a motion for reconsideration seeking the appellate court to reverse its decision favoring their retrenchment. One of them was Rodrigo Nayanga, who worked at PLDT as an electrician for 24 years under a contractual status.
Masakit. Una-una, apektado pamilya. Tulad ngayon, siyempre, mayroon kang pinapaaral, ang iba sa amin nangungupahan, bayad sa tubig, bayad sa kuryente.
Nayanga now struggles to make both ends meet as a tricycle driver. On July 31, the CA affirmed, but with modification, the regularization order of the Department of Labor and Employment for PLDT. The decision allowed the reinstatement and regularization of only 1,900 out of more than 7,000 employees laid off by the company. The said number does not include Mang Rodrigo. Still, he hopes that with the new motion, the CA will be convinced to reverse its decision. Meanwhile, the DOLE, through the Office of the Solicitor General, filed separate motion to CA seeking the regularization of all 7,000 plus PLDT employees.
The department through the OSG will also be filing the MR to the decision of the Court of Appeals. And hopefully, the Court of Appeals will consider our argument.
In case the appellate court rules otherwise, the Labor Department plans to elevate the matter to the Supreme Court. JL Asayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uzon claims her controversial video on federalism, which she shot with a fellow blogger, was only used to divert attention from the then ongoing Senate probe on the alleged 2016 poll irregularities. May Bermudez tells us why.
For the first time since their controversial video together, Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uzon and blogger Drew Olivar appeared on a live interview on Wednesday to clarify their side of the story. Uzon claims critics of the administration only used their video to divert attention from the then ongoing Senate probe on alleged 2016 election fraud.
Kasi po ganito yun ang nangyari di ba meron pong Senate hearing on electoral fraud. So Thursday po yung video namin, yung pinakauunang hearing nila Attorney Glenn Chong, parang Monday ata yun, hindi pinansin ng media. Kaya nga po nagreklamo yung mga kababayan, bakit hindi kinover ng media? Pakiramdam namin na ginamit itong issue na ito para matabunan yung mas malaking issue pa.
Uzon and Olivar remain unapologetic, though they acknowledged the negative impact of their actions.
If you want me to apologize, I will, because I know you are a true person. Hindi po ako mag-apologize lang dahil sa hindi nila ako gusto.
Hindi ako magsusorry sa ginawa ko dahil naniniwala ko na ang sorry, kakapagpagaan lang yan ng loob pero hindi nakakapagtama ng mali. Kaya kung mali man yon, sige, itatama ko. Pero hindi ako magsusorry.
The controversial duo stressed their intentions were never to disrespect the idea of federalism. They even hit back against their critics.
Wala kaming intensyon na bastusin ang federalism. Wala kaming intensyon na bastusin ang saligang batas.
Hindi malaswa ang ginawa ko. Yung mga nagsasabi na malaswa, kayo ang malaswa. ang iniisip ninyo ay malaswa.
When asked if their video helped in the promotion of federalism, the two believe they somehow called the attention of the public to delve into the real essence of the idea, which the Duterte administration is primarily advocating.
May malaking pagbabago po talaga na talagang nagising talaga ang mga tao. Kasi after ng video namin, kuya, talagang may mga nakita na talaga ako sa mga posts nila talaga na parang nag-share din sila ng mga insights nila.
Nag-iisip kami ng paraan, paano kaya magiging interesado ang ordinaryong mamamayang Pilipino sa federalismo? At dahil nga dito sa video na yon, pumatok siya at napag-usapan.
To keep the interest of the public, the duo plans to create a short film about federalism as their own way of supporting the government's campaign. My Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Just a few days after he dispelled rumors that he slipped into a coma, President Rodrigo Duterte reveals he is suffering from constant pain. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte admits he is suffering from perpetual pain due to a spinal injury as a result of his motorcycle accident years ago. During a speech before local officials of the League of Municipalities in Cebu City, Duterte explains he has an impinged cervical vertebra which is giving him constant pain. This is his first public appearance after dismissing the claim of Communist Party founding chairman Jose Maria Sison that he slipped into a coma.
I have a C4 and C7 impinge. That's why I am in perpetual pain. On any day, it's 7 on a scale of 10.
The president says he used to take a strong painkiller, fentanyl, but his doctor prohibited him from taking it again after learning that he doubled the dose of his prescribed medication.
Ayaw na ng doktor na sige ng painkiller. Sabi niya, you better come to terms with your body.
Duterte also reveals his common law wife, Hanilet Avancenia, who is also a nurse, did not want him to undergo surgery because of the possibility of further complications. Despite revealing his health woes, the septuagenarian leader denies his health is failing.
I don't know what he means by comatose ako. Tagal pa ako.
He also hits back at Sison, calling him a freeloader. Sison is at the Netherlands where he is seeking a political asylum for over 3 decades.
Lumipat ka na. Ask another country to accept you. To give you the refuge. They call it the sanctuary, right of sanctuary. Because you are sick, you might perhaps go to some Belgium or Germany. You stop your kaawa ang Norwegian people. They are footing the bill and you are a rebel that is a free loader. Nag-free load ka lang dyan. So stop it, mahiya ka naman and you'll never win, I assure you.
Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
President Rodrigo Duterte has lauded weightlifter Heidelin Diaz for winning the Philippines' first gold medal in the Asian Games in Jakarta, Indonesia on Tuesday. Duterte made a special announcement of Diaz's golden performance in his speech during the League of Municipalities of the Philippines Visayas Clusters Conference in Cebu City Tuesday night.
I'd like to make an announcement in Jakarta. We won the first gold medal. Weightlifting, yung nanalo ng... May panahon lang sana ako. Heidelin Diaz. Ito yung sundalo. Sundalo to ng Philippine Army. Wow.
Wonderful.
Diaz, a silver medalist in the 2016 Olympics, took the gold medal in the women's 53-kilogram category event, making her the first Filipino weightlifter to win gold in Asian Games. Diaz will reportedly receive a total cash incentive of 6 million pesos, including 2 million from the Philippine Olympic Committee. The Philippines now has 1 gold and 4 bronze medals in the ongoing Asian Games. Students grab the chance to be discovered in the last wish coverage audition in Metro Manila. Leslie Longbowen explains why.
Students taking advantage of the holiday on Tuesday flocked to Robinson's Novaliches to audition for Wish Coffee. Among them is Pedro Gudez, who traveled for 2 hours from Rodriguez, Rizal.
Sa dami-daming nangangarap na mga singers po, parang isang privilege na, ayun po, yung mapili, yun po, parang isang malaking karangalan na maging bahagi ng Wish Cover season.
Psychology student Aliyah Cadelinia also gave her best to give honor to her school.
Siyempre po, importante po talaga yun kasi school po yung nare-represent ko. Ako po yung magbibigay ng honor sa school namin.
Trixie Dairit, meanwhile, draws inspiration from Wish Coffee Season 1 Grand Finalist Louie Ann Kulala in her bid to become a known singer.
Tapos ngayon nakikita ko malayo na yung nararating niya and na-inspire po niya ako.
Singing Gems of Visayas should prepare now as the next legs of Wish Coffee audition will be held at the Robinson's Place Pavia in Iloilo City on August 24 and J Center Mall, Mandaue, Cebu City on August 27. Leslie Longbowen, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
UNTV has granted free medical mission service to residents of Barangay Old Balara in Quezon City. Here's Monokson to tell us why.
Loisa Palisok is crying because of her aching shoulder. She thinks that the therapist they hired only worsened her situation. She hired the services of the said therapist because she could barely move her shoulder as a result of her mild stroke. She could only afford the services of the said therapist, who is an unlicensed therapist, as they do not have money to go to a specialist doctor.
Dahil inilot, parang nilamog, parang ganyan. Ito po, hindi ito gumagalaw.
UNTV's volunteer doctors immediately attended to her.
Sa field of medicine yung tinatawag na physical rehabilitation center. Meron na tayo. Sa amin sa hospital meron din. He will be scheduled there to handle this kind of problem, tendinitis of the left arm. Plus of course medical. Meron tayong B-complex, meron tayong diclofenac para sa pain niya.
Maraming salamat at marami kayo na itutulong. Bibigay kayo ng gamot.
Loisa is only one of the residents in Barangay Old Balara that UNTV helped when it granted their request for a free medical mission. According to Alan Franza, the barangay captain of Old Balara, the medical mission is timely. He said that many residents are getting sick, that is why they requested a medical mission to UNTV.
Karamihan po mga bata, lalo na pag panahon po ng tag-ulan, yung ubo, sipon, lagnat, at minsan yung dengue, medyo mataas ang bilang ng dengue.
The medical mission offered free pedia consultation, medical check-up for adults, eye check-up, dental services, and free medicines. The residents also got to avail of the free haircut and facial treatment. The medical mission served almost 1,000 residents in the barangay. UNTV partners such as the BH Party List and members Church of God International headed by Brother Eli Soriano helped in making the medical mission possible. The medical mission is only one of the many public services of UNTV headed by Kuya Daniel Razon. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Good evening. A group of fishermen calls on the government to stop the proposed importation of galunggong as it believes that fish prices will stabilize in local markets. Ray Pelayo tells us why.
Members of the Grupo Malacaya flocked to the office of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources in Quezon City to express their opposition to the planned importation of 17,000 metric tons of brown scad or galunggong. According to its chairman, Fernando Hiccup, importing brown scad is not the solution to increasing prices of fish variety in the local markets today, but the old practice of employing middlemen in the local trading system.
Halimbawa sa isang fish port, makakarating yan doon sa consumer ay mga 4 hanggang 5 kamay na ang dadaanan. Sa bawat dadaanang kamay na yan ay tumutubo sila.
Hiccup says such is the reason why the price of brown scad skyrocketed from 180 to 200 pesos a kilogram. The group also expresses concern that importation may pose a health risk as the imported fish may contain formaldehyde. Pamalakaya argues that consumers may choose to buy a different variety of fish if in case there is no supply of brown scad available in the market for a certain period. But according to Agriculture Undersecretary and BFAR Director Eduardo Goncona, there is scarcity in the supply of brown scad, hence the need for importation. For now, commercial fishing vessels could not enter the municipal waters due to the implementation of Republic Act 10654 or the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998.
Ang fish ay contributory doon sa inflation rate natin na 5.7. Kailangan hindi na tumaas yun at hindi na mag-rise ulit ang presyo niya. Ang immediate solution niya is to import.
The official also assures strict quality control over the importation process to ensure that the products are free of formaldehyde content. The agency likewise assures the government is finding ways to limit the number of agents being employed as middlemen in order to reduce fish prices. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Zamboanga City government eyes to impose a mandatory price ceiling amid the rice shortage being experienced in the city. Dante Amento tells us why.
The local government of Zamboanga City is pushing for the imposition of a mandated ceiling on prices of rice following a proposal to place the city under a state of calamity due to the reported rice shortage. This is to counter rising prices of rice amid the artificial shortage that has pushed the cost of grain to as high as 70 pesos per kilogram. The Zamboanga City Price Monitoring Council has earlier recommended imposing a mandated price ceiling of 46 pesos per kilogram of rice. According to Vice Mayor Cesar Iturralde, a draft resolution has been prepared, but they are still awaiting the final recommendation of the City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council.
As soon as we approve, we receive that official resolution from the disaster office. That's the time we will finalize the resolution declaring a state of calamity.
Iturralde estimates at least a week for the disaster agency to complete the final proposal.
And it is now up to the mayor as soon as she receives the resolution to implement the resolution of the declaration.
City Mayor Maria Isabel Climaco Salazar has earlier said that the rice shortage was caused by the diversion of the rice tax intended for the city to Jolo, Sulu and other parts of Mindanao. Climaco Salazar also said the city needs 180,000 sacks of rice for a 3-month buffer stock, but it has only received over 40,000 sacks from the National Food Authority. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue, Zamboanga City.
The House Committee on Appropriations is set to resume its deliberations on the 2019 proposed budget next week. And though House leaders earlier agreed to a compromise, they refused to provide details on the budget deal. Grace Casin tells us why.
After more than a week of suspension, the House Committee on Appropriations is set to continue the budget briefing on the 2019 proposed national budget amounting to 3.757 trillion pesos on Tuesday, August 28. Earlier, House leaders agreed to a budget compromise using a hybrid cash-based budgeting system and to restore the budget cuts through realignment. But Appropriations Committee Chairman Carlo Nograles refuses to detail the agreement they reached with the Department of Budget and Management.
Hindi muna kami magsasalita about the budget while negotiations are ongoing.
The committee is set to tackle the budget proposals for the Trade and Industry and Education Department, followed by the Office of the President and Vice President, Interior and Local Government, and National Defense. The House panel targets to finish the budget briefing on September 25. Meanwhile, the Appropriations Committee calls on the Senate to expedite the passage of 1.161 billion peso supplemental budget for the Dengvaxia victims that the lower house already passed last May. Grace Cassin, UNTV, News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
Business owners in the summer capital of the Philippines are complaining of a slower sales amid incessant rains. They are also urging the Baguio city government to craft a business concept that would attract tourists even on rainy days. Charlie Barrero tells us why.
Heavy rains brought by southwest monsoon continue to batter Baguio City. And though no landslide incidents have been reported and no roads leading to the city were closed to motorists apart from Cannon Road, tourism is fairly slow this month due to the amount of precipitations being experienced in the city. This cramped the income of some business owners who are only earning half of their usual daily profits.
Pahirapan kami magtawag ng customer dahil nga sa ulan, walang ganong nagpa-park dito. Dati, alas 7 pa lang may mga turista na, hindi katulad ngayon, alas 7, wala pa din. Nag-aantay kami, alas 9, wala pa rin benta.
Magsisira na. Kasi wala nang bumibili.
Even hostels, inns, and other facilities offering lodging in the city also report reduced tourist booking, though rates are lowered at this season. Some travelers who brave the thick fog brought by the bad weather still tried to visit the city's tourism sites, but had to leave early when rain started to drench them.
But right now we're going to Mines View Park just to overlook the mountain. But we also went to the military base and we were there with the tanks, but it started raining way too hard. So we obviously had to leave. So it does damper what we do, but as a family we just do it anyways.
Local business owners are calling on the city government to create a business concept that would attract tourists to the country's summer capital, even during rainy season, to sustain their livelihood and the local economy. Charlie Barreto, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.